Hi, everyone, and welcome to eMediaChat, where everything is digital. Except, of course, our co-host, who's right next door. Hey, Kirsten, how are you?
Hi, Rick. How are you?
This is Kirsten Rick and her friend George.
Yes.
If you're wondering, she has a bad shoulder right now. Or nursing a tired shoulder.
Yep.
So yeah, George is joining us for the show. He's the co-host.
Yes. Yes, George the Ice Pack.
George the Ice Pack. That's right. He's breaking the ice for us.
That's it.
Hey, do you want to introduce our great guest today?
Well, let's see. She's beautiful, talented, smart, funny, incredibly generous, and her name's Chana. Chana Messer, who is an amazing artist. She's an educator. She's an evangelist. She is just amazing woman on, every topic you could possibly imagine, and we suckered her into coming today.
Yeah, she's an educator too. Teaches at UCLA and other places. This is great. Chana Messer.
Hi, Chana.
Hi, Chana. How are you?
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
That's our chat room. They love chatting, or actually applauding.
Yeah.
So how are you doing today?
I'm good. I just wanted to let you know I just started to teach actually digital painting in USC.
Oh, did you
last
really?
week. Yeah. And it's really great. It's going great.
So you're teaching at UCLA and USC?
Yeah, they don't know that. So that's good. I'm keeping it quiet.
Yeah, so don't say that on the internet or anything.
That's right. 1 million people just heard that, right?
Just heard that, yeah.
That's pretty good. That's great. So digital painting. So is that using Photoshop or Illustrator? How are you doing that?
Basically, it's using Photoshop brushes and using the Wacom tablet and just showing them how to paint with Photoshop. It's basically for the animation students in the cinema department. BA and MFA.
That's
students.
Great.
Yes.
Well, recently on eLearnChat, another show we had Alan Partridge from Adobe. He's the Adobe eLearning Evangelist, and he does some beautiful digital paintings, all in Photoshop. Says it takes him about 2 to 3 months to do one. They're gorgeous. It's amazing. I don't think of Photoshop as being something you would do that with, but my God, it's pretty good what you can do. So.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. People don't realize that they can paint with Photoshop, but they can. And the results that we're getting are unbelievable. I just can't wait to see the portfolio in the end. I'm not teaching as a semester-based. I'm teaching them as a guest lecturer / mentor. So it'll be a great experience for me to work with people like this. I'm really excited. I'm so excited.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's one of the new projects I'm into.
That's good. Now, Kirsten, any talk in the chat room yet? Anything going on?
Nothing yet. I'm mostly trying to make lunch plans with Jeff when we're in Vegas. Sorry.
All right, George, whack around the head one.
Yep. Ow. Bad ice pack. So,
go ahead.
Let's pick Hana's brain. Hana, what do you want to talk about?
Well, we can talk about me using the iPad all the time to create some art. We could talk about me tweeting too much and letting people know about what I'm doing. We can talk about my catering company too. So, we can talk about a lot of stuff.
You do catering too?
I have a catering company, yes. So I cater in the weekends. And basically I manage them, and sometimes I cook too. And most of the time I do the graphics, the invoices, talking to the clients, and arranging the events.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
So let's start with touch apps. What, for people who aren't yet caught up on this, what are touch apps and why would we care?
The touch app I use most of the time is Adobe Photoshop Touch, Adobe Ideas, and Adobe Proto. And every now and then I use Adobe Collage. And why do I care? I care because I can sit anywhere and just create my artwork without being completely in my studio. So I'm sitting in Starbucks, talking to people, creating compositions, and then when I'm done, I'm sending it to the client and using the Adobe Creative Cloud, which I love. And while I do that, I'm not that careful. I'm just doing tons of compositions and drawings and not paying attention to the details at all. And I'm being able to be like almost in my studio in the backyard, like really painting and drawing And then once I like it, I send it. So you see in some of the samples that I have, and I post it on Twitter all the time, kind of love doing it. So I think it's kind of like a nice tool for people to use while they're outside of their studio.
So how does Photoshop Touch interact with Photoshop?
Well, you just do whatever you want in Photoshop Touch. You have layers, you have special effects, you have selection tools. It's kind of a miniature Photoshop in a way. And you can have only 16 layers. And once you're done with it, you actually upload it to the cloud and download it for the cloud. And if you don't have the Creative Cloud, you can email it to somebody, and it comes out as PSDX, which is a different kind of file format. And all what you have to do is download a plugin from the Adobe.com, and that converts it directly into Photoshop. And then you open it in Photoshop and start working. The only problem I have with it at the moment, that most of the stuff are destructive in Photoshop Touch. Okay. So if I need like a layer mask, so when it comes to Photoshop, it's a layer without a layer mask.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. And it's not adjustment layers or anything?
It's not adjustment layer. You can use kind of adjustment layers, but they're not really adjustment layers in Photoshop. So it's basically for kind of like doing a composite to show your client and say, do you really like it? I just did it low res, let me do the same thing high res. Hopefully in the future, and I'm sure they're working on it, something's going to be non-destructive, like the type, because the type is destructive as well. But it just gives you an idea to do stuff as you go. I use it a lot for my artwork, actually. Not that much for work all the time. I just do all kind of drawings, then take it to my studio, and based on that, I'm doing my acrylics and my oil paints.
Great, so you can have a portable sketch pad, really.
Definitely, it's a digital sketch pad. That's exactly what it is for me and for other people. And the only problem I'm having it now, I'm addicted to it. So instead of doing some other stuff, I'm actually sitting with my iPad most of the time and drawing, and not like, doing my outlines and learning new products. I'm doing it quietly now.
So are you using a stylus to do this when you do the painting?
A stylus. Yeah.
Now, do you find that the stylus on the now I've used the stylus, but I just don't seem to get enough. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. That's probably it. But how do you get the brush strokes and everything? Is that so that you get it the way you want it without just a thicker stroke?
Oh, it's not a stylus like you have on the Wacom tablet when you work with the Wacom tablet. It's just a stylus instead of your finger. It's not pressure sensitive.
Okay.
The brush is heavy, it's heavy. And the brush is thin, it's thin. It's still not there. I'm hoping that maybe iPad 4 with Photoshop Touch 2 with some of Wacom technologies, we're going to be able to do that. Everybody's waiting for that.
So that's possible. That's coming.
That's coming. I hope so.
Great.
I don't know.
Great. That'd be great.
I'm sure it's going to come. I'm sure.
So what is Adobe Ideas then?
So Adobe Ideas is just the opposite than Adobe Photoshop Touch. Photoshop Touch that deals with pixels and images, and a little bit with brushes. So you can paint some stuff, but you can basically use photos to create your painting. Adobe Ideas is just a sketch pad. You're just drawing with one kind of brush, heavy or not heavy, whatever you choose. You can bring some images to it, but you can draw like line art and ideas with that, and then you bring it to Illustrator, and it's all vector. So, like, I sent you a sample of my line art. I started in Adobe Ideas and brought it to Illustrator and fixed it.
No, I'm showing one right now. It was called Some Lines.
Yeah, so it's like line art of a girl. And then you have two versions of that. One is kind of completely flat, which is just directly from Adobe Ideas. And the other one has some depth to it. I end up tweaking it in Illustrator.
Okay.
Playing with it. And then I have other versions of it. I can colorize it. I can move it into layer. It's all vector. So you can really do anything you want.
And you can see, Kirsten, can you see this?
Yep.
So you see the first one, and then here's the one with a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
And that was all done on the iPad.
It's all done in the iPad, and I just sat there. Actually, I was doing it on the way back from Israel on the flight. because I was like so bored and they didn't have good movies and I had, so many hours. And I was sitting there with my iPad and just drawing like I'm drawing in my studio.
So it's good therapy.
Oh,
it's great therapy. Yeah.
Or you in carpool, or you just, believe it or not, sometimes I have it also on the line to a movie, and my husband always tell me, can you leave the iPad at home?
Now you know they're going to pass a law in California, no drawing and driving at the same time.
That's going to be for me. Don't drive and draw.
Yep.
That's going to be me. So I love it. Just love it.
That's pretty good. So you see this as, do you think more and more students are going to be getting into drawing or sketching on an iPad?
I definitely think so. I know all my Illustrator students in UCLA, they all have iPads. And all of them are playing with Adobe Ideas. And most of them have Adobe Photoshop Touch. Collage, not everybody has. Collage is just to do mood boards. So that's the part that you like it, you do it, if you need to do it or not. It's more if you're in advertising. So most of the people that I know do not have it yet. And Proto is for prototyping for the web. So you can basically do wireframing for the web and then bring it to Dreamweaver, the same way you bring Photoshop Touch to Photoshop.
Interesting. That's called Proto?
Yeah. And if somebody like me who does not do a lot of web, it's great for me because I can actually sit with a client and tell them what I'm thinking they're going to do if they hire a web designer, and I'm pretending that I know what I'm doing. So I drag and drop stuff. I can drag and drop divs. I can drag and drop video frames, titles, scroll rollovers, just on the iPad.
That's great.
Link it to add other stuff too. So it's really amazing.
So I wonder if that works with the new Adobe Muse, because that's another tool that they just came out with, which makes web design a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's not compatible yet.
Not yet. Okay. Because it sounds like a great prototyping tool.
I know. It's not yet. It's not there yet. Hopefully it will be. Because I'm started to use Muse.
How do you like it?
I love it because I'm one of the people that I spell code with K. I don't know how even to spell code. Nothing about code. So for me, it's almost like I can do this because I know InDesign in and out. So almost I understand how it works. And it has kind of like a link between Muse and InDesign.
Yep,
so
some of the InDesign engineers are on the Muse team.
That's true.
So it has the same thinking behind it.
That's why I understand it a little bit more. And I'm working on my website. Soon it's going to be on Muse. Soon. I'm saying soon because I've been working on it for like a while and never have time to do that.
That sounds like my book.
Yeah.
It's there somewhere.
My website is one big picture, actually. If you look at the code, it's Photoshop got into Dreamweaver and had some links. Not so nice, but I just did it. So.
Well, you mentioned doing mood boards.
Yes.
With
collage.
I have to look down at what I was scribbling because I'm keeping stuff in. I saw somebody actually doing mood boards in an e-learning seminar to show people sort of how they could think about what they were putting together. So I think it'll have an interesting wide range of people it can work with. I think there's a lot of different areas where that might be applicable.
Exactly. Just the only idea is to educate them to use it.
Yep.
And that's what I find is the harder part for me now. Educating people to use the iPad to do something. Educate people that Adobe Creative Cloud is a good thing and not against you, and you can find and do easy stuff with it. I'm just constantly educating, telling people, no, Photoshop is a regular application now. You got it from the cloud, but it doesn't disappear when you don't have internet. Because they all think it's in the cloud.
Right.
Because they call it Adobe Creative Cloud. Maybe they should have called it a little bit different. I don't know. I'm thinking about a name, but...
Adobe Creative Sync or something?
Creative Sync, Adobe Creative something, Adobe Creative Cloud, and yes, it is on your desktop or something.
Creative Cloud, except it's local too. Yeah, that's not quite smooth.
I still get answers from questions from my students. Yeah, I just got the Creative Cloud for $29.99. It's really great, but right away, and my mom doesn't have internet, so I'm not going to be able to do my homework. And I'm like, yes, you can.
Nice try.
Exactly. Yes, you can. Illustrator is there for you, like you had it from the box, and you do your homework when you come back on Monday. So kind of like don't get it.
So if someone's not a student right now, if they're a working designer and they're looking to get into using the touch apps, what approach should they take? Should they be, looking at videos, grabbing tutorials, or just picking it up and starting to play?
First of all, picking it up and starting to play, and then tons of tutorial on Adobe TV. Tons of tutorial on Adobe TV, all about touch apps, including my video. My video is there too. It's like
Excellent.
all has videos on Adobe TV about the touch apps. So all what you have to do is click at www.tv.adobe.com/touch apps, and you get probably around 30 or 40 videos.
That's great. In fact, in the show notes, we'll put on the your video so that people can see it.
Great. That's great. And then also all the touch apps, they come with a small tutorial with them. So you have tutorials when you open Photoshop Touch. You have a tutorial about Photoshop Touch. Proto has the sample files. Adobe Collage has sample files. Proto comes with tons of sample files. So you can just sit there. It took me to get to know Proto without looking at the video probably 10 minutes.
So it's a slow application to learn.
Hard to pick up.
Hard to pick up.
10 long minutes.
They are really friendly. It's like really user-friendly.
That's good. Now, do you think some of that technology will make it into the desktop products?
You know what? I don't know, and I'm not sure I want them there. Like you need the immediate stuff to do it on the desktop, and then from there go out. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make it. I think they're done just for the tablets for now. But
yeah. Now, have you used applications like the Bamboo Paper, I think it's called?
Yes, I did.
Now, how do you like that?
Like it. It's okay. I like it. I use that. I use also the Inklink, by Wacom, that you draw on your paper and you have a little USB.
Oh, right. Yep.
That's fun too. It's all fun. I'm just have like my iPad attached to my hip, so it's there with me the whole time, and I'm kind of so used to the Adobe syncing with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so much. They made it easier because you can send a JPEG or PSDX and really open it in Photoshop or open it in Illustrator. So I feel like I can just work with them seamlessly, like together. So I like to work with that better than the others. Not that the others are not good, but I like these guys better.
So what do you think the trends are as far as digital imaging, digital Photoshop, digital illustration? Do you think it is going to become tablet as kind of a precursor to actually doing the actual finished products?
I don't know it's going to be all the way an actual finished product, because it's going to need to be a really hardcore tablet. I don't know the technology, but I see kind of in the future, I kind of hope, I see it and I hope and I pray together in one word, that the next tablet or one after will be pressure sensitive. Mm-hmm. And it's going to have a little more features, and you'll be able to maybe name your layers, maybe make some effects non-destructive, and then interact with Photoshop or with ideas a little bit better. But I can still see the desktop staying for a while as is, and not kind of have a full-blown Photoshop on the tablet.
The only problem with that is if we get all that, that means Adobe now charges $600 for a tablet application.
So, I mean, they're $99 for a while. So I just updated Collage and I updated Proto, and you don't have to pay anything for the updates on. Right,
that's a nice part. Yeah.
Another thing that's really nice that they offered, because it is on the cloud, but not part of the Creative Cloud subscription. If you buy more than 3 apps, you get an extra month for your subscription free.
Interesting.
So that's really good. Actually, I got the award already. So you just extend it for you, because they couldn't get Apple to put it inside the package.
Kirsten, any comments in the chat room so far?
Actually, Jeff and I were talking about getting where you get Photoshop Touch, and We're getting it off the Adobe Store, not off the App Store, which is sort of where you might expect to see it. So the link is adobe.com products and then Photoshop Touch.
Yeah, you can get it actually both places, and once you get it, you get all the updates, which is really great, and I like that too. So you get it so fast, and then you upload. Like the other day, I was trying to do a project for somebody, and I remembered I took some pictures and put it up in the cloud, and I was somewhere else. So I just signed into my account, and the images were there. So I downloaded them and directly went to my iPad, did what I needed to do, uploaded it back, downloaded it at home. And that's kind of like some of the PDF that I sent you that I know you can get some ideas from it. But I just showed people how I work with Adobe Touch apps. Kind of like when I start as an image and a sketch, and then I go and do more stuff in Adobe Photoshop Touch, and then bring it to Photoshop.
Well, now, I'm showing one that you sent me called Patterns.
Oh, the pattern, that's Adobe Ideas. That's also another cool thing that I love. I just drew, I love the new pattern feature in Illustrator, the new Illustrator. And you can just draw anything you want on the iPad. Let's say you need to do something. I needed to do something actually for a client. That was not the final project, but she wanted something with flowers. So I started drawing tons of flowers in Adobe Ideas. And the flower I really liked, I uploaded it into Illustrator, and I created a pattern, and then I put it inside the shirts, which is nice. Like starting and ideas, and then doing the pattern in Illustrator, and then really cool.
Right, but that had its inception in a tablet first.
I started. The whole flower was drawn completely on the tablet.
That's great.
Send as many. I did tons of them, and she liked this one. And she said, let's try this one, see how it looks. And then I changed it, of course, with colors and other stuff, so evolve into other ideas later. But I on the tablet. Yep.
So, question from the chat room, Hannah. Have you played with Jot Touch by Adonit?
No.
For the iPad?
No. Mm-mm. No, I didn't do that yet.
Okay, and that's the question so far. What do you think? Do you think it's going to happen where?
Hold on, I think his Skype's breaking up just a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I back?
Try again. No, it's just a little bit of noise on the audio. Try it again.
Do you think it's going to happen that clients are going to start using the touch apps to mock up what they think the designer will do and then bring it to the designer as the initial step? Do you think that development might start happening, or has it already happened?
It's already happening. I mean, if I have a meeting now with some creative designer that hire me just to do the drawings for them, I'm bringing the laptop, they bring the laptop. I mean, the iPad. We don't bring the laptops even. I just bring in my iPad for a general meeting. I'm also making a presentation on the iPad just to show them what I think. And then we start drawing together. Yes, it's happening all the way with a lot of advertising agencies. They're just doing it there already.
Now, is that educating the customer a little bit more on what the process is, or no?
It's educating them what the process is. Also, just making it easier to do a bunch of kind of like different kind of designs right away. So you can right away show the client, you see, this was red, this is blue, this is green, this, and the client was like, wow, this is amazing, you know. So you can just show the process faster. And sometimes you have to educate them. Sometimes they'll tell me, stop, you know, stop drawing, show me what you're doing, and what do you mean you're going to take it to your desktop later? So I have to explain to them the process. And most of my clients, after they see that, they download the application for themselves just to play.
So if you have Photoshop Touch files and you email them to the client, they look at stuff, you want to bring them into Photoshop, you only need a converter, you said?
Just a converter. Yeah, that's it. But I can even send it to them just as a JPEG, and they can look at it, or a PDF. As an email or a link. I can also send them a link to adobe.com, and I can download it from there. So, or I can just send it to my Dropbox if I want, because I do have also a Dropbox and they can download it from there. And if they share Creative Cloud from Adobe, I just send them a link and they download it there. So you can do a lot of ideas how to share it with people right away. And sometimes it's really fast. It's really fast. Kids could go back and forth. Because I have some friends that I worked with in New York, and I can just work with them. So we can share ideas through the cloud or through Dropbox or through Adobe Send Now. You can do that too. Whatever you decide. Which is another product that I love, Adobe Send Now. I just love it.
It's called Adobe Send Now?
Yeah. It's just you're sending your big files through Adobe Send Now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can put your logo in there, and it could be your site, kind of, when you send it. So your client gets it, and you see your logo, and it's fast. It's kind of like you send it. I just like this one a lot better because it's faster for me. And
is that part of the cloud, or is that a separate product?
This is a separate product. Okay. Maybe one day it's going to be there in the cloud, hopefully. But right now it's a separate. I think I don't know how much they charge. I think $99. Everybody charges $9.99. I don't know why.
$600.
I think if you have small files, it's free, and you start adding it. It's like you send it. If you needed really big files, it's charging you.
That's great.
So I use that.
So go check it out.
Yep.
We use Dropbox for the most part, but that sounds like a good one.
I use that too. My only problem now is like, where did I send this one? Is Dropbox, and what's the password for that? And and is this one? How can I retrieve it? That's the problem I'm having now. Where did I send it? But usually it's per client. Some clients really love Dropbox, so I just do it with them like that.
We did a seminar for a one-day seminar for ASTD in Los Angeles, and I put the files out there, the videos out there in Dropbox, and somebody deleted them off their Dropbox, which deleted it off everybody's Dropbox. It was just one of those. So Dropbox is risky. Sometimes you have to be careful to make something read-only versus delete, and it's not easily done. You have to kind of look around for it.
Well, yeah, it can be a little. It's a little
weird. Dicey sometimes. Yeah.
The Adobe Send Now, I went on the subscription is $20 a year.
Well, that's nothing.
Nothing.
How much do you get for that?
1 gigabyte or 2 gigabyte for this one?
Is that George helping out with that? Does he kind of give you?
Yeah, George is whispering in my ear.
He's whispering in it. Is it $20?
I'm looking on the. Here we go. Pricing plans. Let's go. If I hit the subscribe now button, I'm a little afraid.
Yeah, I have the unlimited amount. And by the way, if you are UGM, user group manager, I think they give you a certain amount of that for free. That's one of the things that they give you. So you have to talk to them. Just say,
In fact, since we've been doing the show, 52 new user groups showed up just in the local area. So
it's my name sometimes is hana.messer.schnorr.com, Ask for more if you can. If you don't ask, you don't get.
That's true.
That's true.
That's very true. And Adobe can be pretty generous. You just have to kind of push them sometimes.
And not push, and smile if I can, and set the arrow chicken soup with matzo balls, and I get it. No.
Oh, so that's the secret.
Food. It's always food.
Food. It's all about the food. Okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So what about Twitter, Hannah? We got a little bit of time.
Yes, I like Twitter a lot. I'm using actually Twitter more than I used Facebook lately. I used to put all my meetings on Facebook. I still do, but I don't check Facebook daily anymore. But I'm on Twitter a lot. I tweet and I follow you guys all the time, and I read on Twitter. And that's the thing. Don't read Twitter and drive, or don't tweet.
Right. Don't tweet and drive.
Tweet and drive.
Yep.
Don't take another picture and tweet and drive. But I do that, and it's really amazing. I have a meeting October 9th in LA about new plugins for Illustrator with a visitor from England, and I tweeted the Eventbrite most of the time, and I have tons of people coming already.
That's great.
It's really great. I'm using Twitter all the time. Love it.
I love Twitter too. I didn't think I would, but for now 3 years I've been on it, and I think it's probably the best social network. It's not so obtrusive. It doesn't do all the bad things that Facebook does, and it actually is very easy to get to know people and then to expand from that. I've made a lot of friends from Twitter. I think, Kirsten, you're probably the same way.
That's how I met you.
That's true. We met through Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot how, but you followed me, and I said, hey, she looks interesting.
Yeah, I was recommending you to
So
my
we invited
students.
her on a show, and next thing you know,
Yeah, here we go.
start a friendship. It's really cool. Leva, who I'm not sure if she's in the chat room right now, met her through Twitter. Jeff met through Twitter, and it's just interesting.
Yep.
Now, Hannah, we met in person, so we have to start all over again and go to Twitter. So.
I don't know them. I met them on Twitter, but you also meet people from all over the world in Twitter, which
That's
is really
true.
great. Interesting designers that then end up sending me emails of their designs, and we end up like chatting a lot online. Just we become friends.
Well, actually, if you think about it, now ponder this for a moment. This is your meditation pondering for the week. If we got rid of all the politicians in the world and just had Twitter, everybody would get along great.
Amazing.
Almost.
And I would get rid of some of them especially, but I'm not going to say what I think. But I won't get rid more than others, but I just don't follow them on Twitter. And that's what I do. I do a lot of Twitter, and I can tell you also I do some Instagram too lately. I'm saying it quietly, but I started Instagramming. I'm like constantly, I'm online, It's like enough already. But I like it. I just like it because I think I can also do my artwork on the iPad and send it to my iPhone and Instagram it and put it on Twitter, and everybody knows what I did. And I like to do tweeting about stuff that I think people would like. I'm not tweeting like, oh, gee, I just had a sandwich right now, because this is like silly.
Right.
I will
Right.
help people and promote people, so I try to retweet a lot, things that I think interesting. So if Kirsten, saying some interesting stuff, I'm retweeting, why not? Let other people know about what she said. So that's really great.
And Adobe Touch is just Adobe Touch on Twitter, so you can find all sorts of feedback, and I think they have some contests going on and some links to things.
Yeah, and one of the nice things is that all the vendors put out really good samples, they put out good links, so it really helps people learn a lot more. So if you follow some of the sites, or if you use tools like TweetDeck where you can create columns, or Hootsuite, then you can organize all of your tweets so you know exactly, you don't miss any, because it's so easy when you have a lot of followers or you're following a lot of people to miss 3/4 of what's going on. So organizing is a pretty good thing to do.
Yeah, I learn a lot because somebody will post a link, and if I think it's interesting, I just look at the link, and then I go back and start reading about the story and about the thing, and then about like, wow, this is great.
Now, Hannah, my favorite combination is Twitter and YouTube. Twitter and YouTube is a great combination because you can put out so many training videos or whatever you want to do, informational, then retweet it via Twitter, and it's amazing how many views you get, how much things can get out there, how many new products you find out about, techniques on how to use products. It's pretty incredible.
Endless. It's almost endless. And I know my student last week asked me about something. How do I do a brush in Photoshop? Even though I was teaching this semester on the Illustrator in UCLA, and I had no time, and I said, just write brushes, cloud brushes in Photoshop, in YouTube, and you'll find something. And then he emailed me, said, yeah, there was a tutorial about it. How did you know? I said, I didn't know, but I was sure it will be there.
Yep.
Because it's there. Some of them are good, and some of them are excellent, and some of them are not that good, but you can make from every tutorial something good for you. That's why I tell my students, take what's good for you and the rest leave, and then make it your own.
Yep. We made a convert because Jeff just downloaded Photoshop Touch.
Wow, cool. And then it's so great. It's just amazing. I love it. I just love sitting there, and all this new technology, I love it. And I started using Twitter, I think 7 years ago, in a meeting in San Jose. I met Justin Seeley there, and he showed me how to download Twitter. And I came home and showed it to my kids, and they looked at me, Twitter? Ugh. It's for geeks. Who's using it? Only nerds.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, speaking of Justin, Justin is going to be on the show in 2 weeks.
That's cool. He's the coolest. So he downloaded it for me and April and some other people and showed us how to use it. And I started using it, and my kids were like, "Are you kidding?" And now my daughter is on Twitter, and she says to everybody, "You know, my mom used it so many years ago. She was so cool." I said, I was cool, right? Thought I was a nerd. That was Justin. Yep, he was the one who got me into it.
I like Justin. Justin had a great Photoshop training channel, too.
Justin is amazing, and he has amazing new videos on lynda.com.
That's right. Yeah, he's doing what? Illustrator and Photoshop, too?
Photoshop, and actually WordPress.
Oh, he's doing WordPress. Okay.
Pretty good in WordPress. He can do everything, but he's kind of... I don't think he does most of the Photoshop because they have other people for Photoshop for them. He does a lot with the Illustrator. He just had something new, Illustrator for the web. Really amazing video. He did another one, which is deep dive into Illustrator, CS6, which is really great. He does a lot of Illustrator. He does web stuff. Yeah, he's pretty versatile. He's cool, and his videos are very interesting.
Yep, I like him. He's always been good. Linda did smart by hiring him.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Yeah. And he's a neighbor now. He's in Ventura, so...
Yeah, he's not far. Well, we're in Camarillo, so we're very close to him.
Going to go visit him soon over there.
Hey, when you come up, let me know, because we're not far from that.
Great, I will come visit.
We're on the way.
Stop for coffee.
Sure. That sounds fun. Kirsten, you have to fly out and join us.
Yeah, I was going to say, hey.
Yes,
I'll have to wait till you guys are on the East Coast.
No, but you have, we're sending Pariah to you. He's moving.
That's true.
Yeah, so you're going to have him. I'm going to have to fly to Arizona to teach the classes he did there, and not. But that's okay.
No, we'll still fly him back to Arizona, so you don't have to if you don't want to. Yeah, no, it'll be good. Yeah, their family will be here, leaving on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and he says hi.
Yeah.
So, yes, I told him I was hopping on with you, so.
Great.
Big grin, So good stuff. Yeah. Excellent. So are you the touch apps queen in for everyone you know? Not just me?
For now I am. With my friends, with my colleagues, with my students. Some places at Adobe I like to think that they think I'm one of the queens, but I don't know. I actually did a lecture at the DJ, Directors Guild of America. I did the whole thing about Adobe Touch Apps there for location managers, and which I think that's an amazing tool for them. Because they can go to the location, shoot the images, combine them together, come back to the directors right away and say, see, this house is going to move here, this one's going to go there, this one's going to, we'll wipe it out. And you say, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's really amazing how this part of technology is now affecting so many different production processes.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Architects, interior designers, managers, film directors, producers that want to kind of create something with another artist, and they're on the field and they sing something. They basically take a picture with the iPad, change some stuff, add some text, send it with one of the touch-ups. So now all of them can have some things to them. I think the one that doesn't have text is Adobe Ideas.
Oh, okay.
Text.
Well, Hannah, this has been a real pleasure. We are pretty much at the end of our time here. And Kirsten, any wrap-up?
No, Jeff wants to make sure you guys all have lunch together.
Oh, yep. That'll be great. Oh, actually, Jeff's going to be in L.A., so maybe we can all get together. That would be great.
Yes, anytime you guys come over, around, just come over. Oh, I'll meet you somewhere.
That sounds good. You live in West L.A., right?
I live next to Santa Monica.
Okay.
Pacific Palisades.
Okay. Oh, that's close. Okay.
I'll just show up on your doorstep. No, only kidding.
Extra room for you. We're empty nesters right now.
I know how that feels.
Well, worst case scenario, I'll see you when I come out for Adobe Max.
Okay. Definitely you'll see me. And you can stay here if you want.
That would be great.
All right. And Hannah, what are you doing? Any talks, any shows? Anybody can come up and see you?
The next one we have is October 9th, next week. We're having my user group is meeting from 7 to 9. And if you want to write down the URL for the Eventbrite, that can be great. And if not, I'll just say it. It's www.astute.eventbrite.com. We're featuring Astute Graphics from England. And we have a speaker, and I'm going to talk, and that's what I see right now. And I'm one of the leaders for the Photoshop walk, the photo walk in Las Vegas, October 21st in Las Vegas.
You're going to be there about 10 days before us.
So I'm leading one of the groups and taking them around, so that'll be fun.
Sounds great. Well, Hannah, a pleasure, and...
Me too.
And Kirsten, we will see you next week.
Yes. Good to see you, Hannah.
Good to see you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one, everyone. Thanks a lot. If you're in the chat room, thanks for being there. And if you've subscribed, or if you're not subscribing, subscribe. What are you waiting for? We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks.
Thanks.